If you are one of those people who thinks that yoga is just stretching, I am here today to change your mind because there is so much more to each and every practice than what you see that goes on the physical outside. I am going to tell you about the biggest change that a consistent yoga practice has brought into my daily life. And it is not anything physical, and it's probably not what you would guess. If you have any thoughts, I would love to hear them below. Before we begin, give me all of your assumptions. Give me all of your theories. What do you think is the biggest change that I've seen in my life so far? Hello, thank you for joining me today. I am Paige, and this is Yoga with Paige. If you are new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am passionate about mental health, physical health, kind of connecting them all in one, trying to find the unity between these things because that balance can be super, super tricky. And I know a lot of people, from what I've heard, do like to start their yoga practice for a lot of the physical benefits, the flexibility, the mobility. We add some strength training in there. We relieve pain by opening up the body and working on these different things. But there is so many mental benefits of practicing yoga, and I just really, really, really want to hit those home. So I wanted to give you a little kind of an overview of the biggest thing that I've been seeing come up for me lately that has taken years to accumulate and cultivate in these daily practices, taking my practice, what I've learned on the mat, off the mat, and really trying every day to grow myself and just grow this unity of me, myself, everybody else, and everything around us. So let's dive in, shall we? Before I began my yoga practice, my yoga journey, I was a very, very emotional person. I was very reactive, and I've done this kind of my whole life. People pointed it out to me when I was younger, so I've grown up kind of knowing these things, that I'm very emotional. When something happens, I instinctively would react with emotion. And I always would look at other people and want and wish and crave to react with logic. I understand that we have these different parts in us that we balance all the time, and that I just really needed to find a way to either change the way I looked at things or kind of change the way my brain would respond to innately create a more logical response instead of seeing just emotion, because that is not very conducive to a lot of things in your life. You can't just walk around dealing and reacting to everything that happens to you with emotion. Otherwise, everybody would probably be in jail right now. There are multiple people, not going to lie, that I wish I could punch in the face every day, but I don't, because that is the logic coming through. So I always knew that I wanted to find a way to kind of change this within myself and use my emotions as a strength, because they're not a weakness, but kind of find that balance of how to kind of deal with both of them. I tried different things. I used to dance all my life. That helped me kind of work through my emotions a little bit, but it was more of a band-aid. It wasn't ever getting to the root, deep cause of them. It would just help me express them so I didn't just hold them all in. So, as a very, very emotional child, I got made fun of a lot. People called me bipolar. I would make people very, very angry because I was reacting whenever anything hurt my feelings, or if something didn't go my way, I would react in a very emotional way. Instead of, and this is not just when I was younger, even in high school, even just yesterday, we'll say, if something would happen to me or something would make me angry, I would just kind of bite back. I've always had this very biting, oof, okay, don't make her mad, sort of the Scorpio sting. But I started kind of making not enemies, but, people don't like that. They don't like when you are very emotionally reactive. And that was something that I wanted to work through and kind of change. But realizing that I wanted to change this was years in the making. And I sat with this for a few years, not really knowing how to change it. How do I go about changing this huge part of my personality. You know, it's like a huge part of who I am. How do I do this and consistently do this all the time? So I was very lost in this avenue for years. Years. I'm not exaggerating. It took me so long to find certain things that worked, and that is why I am here today to share them with you in hopes that they can help you as much as they helped me. I've already kind of talked a little bit about the perspective shift that started happening. And this was the first initial step, because you can't change or fix anything if you don't realize what's going on, right? So there had to be a point in time where I realized what I was doing, reacting emotionally versus logically like I wanted to. And I had to sit with that for a little bit. So I had to first observe myself having these reactions. And this is where the yoga comes into play. So on the mat, when we are practicing, we are taking this time to practice the act of observing. We are observing our body in each different position. We are observing our mind as we move through and as we hold a position. We observe, we take note of what we're feeling, of where our mind tends to go, the natural reactions that we have, because they are all natural and they are all valid no matter what they are. But this yoga practice is a great chance to really connect with yourself, because you get to view yourself, your natural reactions to things without any judgment. Nobody knows what you're thinking or what you're going through. It's just a time for you to see and feel what it is you're seeing and feeling, your true, authentic, deeper self. So as we cultivate this behavior, as we continue practicing, we begin to notice ourselves taking that off the mat, which is the whole goal of yoga. It really is a way of life. And this was where I first noticed this shift as well. So I started shifting and noticing my reactions to things. And these examples that I'm about to give you are very small, but they are little tidbits of moments where I noticed it. I noticed it first happening, and it was very exciting. And the moments will be small as they continue to build. So one of my first initial moments was just a random night at work. I don't remember the exact instance. We have these situations all the time. But someone on the phone was being very, very rude to me. And instead of getting like snippy or kind of just saying something back, I paused. I physically took a breath. I physically stopped everything. I looked down, so I didn't make eye contact with anybody. I noticed how I was feeling in my body, where I was holding that tension, that irritation, let my shoulders down, and I simply took a big breath. Took a second to notice what I was feeling, this reaction that I was having, a breath to calm myself, and then I reacted. And within that moment, that all it took was that one breath, I was able to calm myself down enough and respond from a place more compassion, and less anger, less irritation, because I took a second to calm my nervous system down. We're always so racing around, and you feel like you have to react all the time, but it is so okay. It is so okay to take a moment for yourself in any situation. If you're arguing, you can even tell the person, say, hey, I really want to respond, but before I do, I would like to pause for a moment, collect my thoughts, take a breath, whatever it is. There is no harm in that. And I remember having this instant at work, and I was like, whoa, I sat there for a moment and I was like, wow, that felt really good. It felt really, really, really good to notice myself taking that step and kind of having that logic in the background, because I've been practicing this over and over again. And I witnessed it come out in a little instance at work, and it was great. And then on the mat, I've been noticing this as well, as I have goal poses that I want to achieve. And the joy is really in the practicing of them, because this is where we learn so much more about ourselves. So like headstand is a pose that I can do pretty easily. I can attain it on most days. And I went to go practice it, and I could not. I just could not for the life of me get into a headstand. And instead of reacting with frustration or anger, being mad at myself, I observed myself just saying, okay, well, I can't do it today, and today is today, and tomorrow's a new day. Maybe I can do it tomorrow. And that moment of kind of removing myself from the situation, removing myself from the emotions and viewing it with logic, like it is not the end of the world, was so monumentous to me that I'm still thinking about this instance, the headstand case, with just, like, I am witnessing myself growing. Sometimes it's very hard to see yourself growing and you feel like you're really going backwards, but you really are moving forward, especially when you feel like you're going backwards. I think it is true. These little instances are what keep you going and keep you wanting to practice and keep showing yourself that you can do better, that you can do better with your choices, with your actions, with conscious behavior. You can do all of the things that you want to do. You can change whatever behavior you want to change. And it is very liberating and enlightening to see this, to see our practices on the mat come off the mat. Prioritizing these personal observances really is a fun process. You really get to just see your true self, your natural reactions, and get to know yourself on a deeper level. It is no judgment. You're not telling anyone what is going on. So you really get to just see your natural reactions to things. And that is how you grow. So in order to change or nurture or care for yourself in the way that you need to be cared for, in the way that you need to be loved, you need to first know who that is and what that looks like. So the deeper we dive underneath and unearth and unveil, the lighter you feel less burdened. The lighter you feel, your heart is open, you feel more aligned and connected to yourself, and that tends to flourish in every area of your life. So the unveiling can be kind of a tricky process. It can kind of unearth some things maybe you didn't think that would be there, but that is the fun part because we have the rest of our lives to work with these things, and they take time. It's not going to change in one day. So something that you may observe, a reaction that you may observe today, you may not start kind of actively seeing changes or working on months from now or a few years from now. And we shouldn't let that scare us, I think. We should let that liberate us and find that freeing, that we have all of this time to dedicate to improving ourselves and our lives, and that we can do this together. Because some of my experiences may help you understand some of yours more, and vice versa. So I would love to know if any of this is resonating with you so far, if you've noticed any of these things happening to you, or maybe you will start noticing them now and you can come back later and let me know. But this is the biggest thing that I've really been noticing kind of all come together for me in this moment, in this part of my path. And when I say that it looks messy, it really does. This process is super, super messy. It is not all rainbows. I do not practice every single day physically on my mat. I have messed up. I have done some things. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Oh my goodness, where is my mind going? Our yoga practice helps us to cultivate the space that we need to have this awareness to look at ourselves through presence. So it's all kind of building on top of each other. We start and end a lot of our practices with breath awareness or just a few moments of presence to center ourselves, because presence is the root of all of these things that we can unearth through ourselves. Because if you're not present, if you're not here and now in the body, in the mind, you're not looking at yourself. You're not looking at what's truly there. You're looking in the future. You're looking in the past. So in order to find our awareness, cultivate this awareness, we need to first find presence. We need to first cultivate presence. And that is a lot of the work that we do on the mat, is really just shutting out all of the things that go on in your mind, all of the things that nag you, that tend to kind of weigh you down and overwhelm you. We let those go for that time being. We push those away, we deal with those later, and we come into that time now, the gift of the present. And that can really help you to just focus your awareness on yourself and not on anything else that you need to do in order to find that space to open up and observe your natural goings-ons. So presence and mindfulness in our yoga practice really allows you to open up and allow yourself to observe. Be the observer of your own thoughts, of your own life, to not be so tied up into what you're feeling in that moment. It's temporary. It'll pass. The emotional freedom that this kind of detachment of my feelings and emotions has given me is truly a gift in itself. The freedom from not feeling so attached to all of these emotions and situations that are going on is one of the biggest presents you could probably give yourself. So if you're looking for a late Valentine's Day gift, give yourself the gift of this presence and this emotional detachment of being able to observe what's going on in your mind without feeling like that is you, because it opens up these feelings of lightness in your heart and in your head. If you are in a situation, say at your workplace, or a family situation that is unsupportive and you're just it's not really good energy for you, you can almost kind of realize that this is a temporary situation. You can take a moment, come back into the body, know that you are here. This is temporary. You don't have to attach all of these emotions to it. And you can kind of observe, okay, this is what I'm feeling. This is what's going on. And it'll pass. And if you don't have to hold on to all of these, oh, they're not supporting me, they're not, all these things that start going on in your head, take a breath, relax. Know that this is not you. This is not the reality, the truth, the situation. I feel like I'm almost rambling here. I don't even really know how to truly explain it. It's hard to put into words. The feeling that this gives you when it happens, when you're in a situation where you can just remove yourself and not feel so attached to the outcomes of the situation or what somebody says to you, because it's okay. Even if you react with anger, it's just a reaction. I don't know, it's something that we can really dissect. And as we move on our mats and as we become more in touch with our emotions and as we kind of release them and work through them, we allow ourselves to go through this entire process: presence, mindfulness, emotional healing, and liberation, true detachment, liberation from feeling. And it is really, really joyous. And I don't want to make it seem like you'll feel this all the time, because I certainly don't. I just see it kind of hints here and there, but I've been feeling it enough and seeing it enough that I know the work that I've been doing has been getting me somewhere. I'm seeing improvement. I'm seeing changes happen. And that gives me the drive and the motivation to keep going on those days that I don't really want to put in the work, because it is a lot of work to get through the yuck, but it is so worth it on the other side. And I guess I just wanted to give you a little pep talk if you are struggling right now, that you have so many things that you can look forward to and that you will achieve if you just keep going. If you keep going, keep riding this roller coaster, and I'll be writing it right alongside you. If this video was not enough to convince you to begin a yoga practice for yourself, I don't know what will. I have hundreds and hundreds, I believe now almost 1,000 free videos on this channel for all levels, all lengths of time, 5 minutes, 45 minutes, all different styles, kinds of classes. You want to do some power, hot, fiery yoga. You want some gentle stretching, some yin, deep release. We have some mindfulness practices, gentle guided meditations to really help you open up, connect deeper, and get in touch with yourself. All of these things together, cultivating a healthier and happier mindset, a healthier and happier body, a more balanced life. And that is really all that I wish to share with you here on this channel. And if you are still with me, thank you so much for listening to this ramble, number one. And number two, just being here and giving me your support. It truly means the world, and I wouldn't be here without you. So thank you so, so much. I look forward to hearing what you have to say about this topic. Share your experiences below, and we can do some story swapping. So join me on the mat, and let's start working through that. Let's start working through that crap. Find any playlists or classes on my channel, or send me a message on any social media sites, and I will send you a direct link to any classes you may wish. So feel free to reach out. I am always happy to connect, and I will see you very, very soon.